Hi, this is Kate Carlson, and my lightning talk is called Play in the Library. Just read this quote and let it sink in for a minute. So why play? Play has been consistently shown over time by research to be crucial to children's development. Dr. Rachel White points out in her article on play for the Minnesota Children's Museum that play is considered so important that the American Academy of Pediatrics issued a white paper on the topic. The National Association for the Education of Young Children, or NAEYC, named play as a central component in developmentally appropriate educational practices. And the United Nations High Commission on Human Rights recognized play as a fundamental right of every child. But seriously, why play? Play sets the stage for all learning across all domains of development and all subject areas. Play helps children regulate behavior, negotiate and understand complex social relationships, and build creative problem-solving skills. Another study by Bodrova and Leong found that when play is integrated into the classroom, cognitive skills in thinking, reading, and comprehension increase, elevating the level of knowledge, building language, and furthering social and emotional development. So what is play? Dr. Rachel White, in her article for the Children's Museum, lays out several components that are present in all play. So play is pleasurable. Children must enjoy it or it's not play. Play is intrinsically motivated. There's no outside external motivation or bribe going on. Play is process-oriented. That means the means are more important than the end. Play is freely chosen. It's spontaneous and voluntary. Children are actively engaged when they are playing, and play is non-literal, so it involves some element of make-believe. So what kinds of play are there? The first kind is social play, and this starts as an infant with their parent and eventually turns into play with peers. And this, starts as kind of parallel play and turns into associative play, and then eventually cooperative play, where kids work together and take on different roles. Another kind of play is object play, and this is exactly what it says, playing with any kind of object. It could be manipulatives or building something or any kind of animals or Legos or spinning tops, anything that children use in their hands to play with. This can be exploring things, cause and effect, dropping marbles into a marble run. Anything that you play with is classified under object play. And all of these areas of play intertwine. There's never one play instance that is only touches on one of these areas. Another kind of play is pretend play, and so this is taking on roles different than what the child is, or can also be using objects as symbols, so maybe like a banana as a telephone. Another kind of play is physical play, and so this is gross motor play, and this would be climbing, jumping, throwing, kicking, biking, and research has shown that this is on the decline over the last 40 years, greatly on the decline. And another kind of play that is on the incline over the last 40 years is media play, and so this would be things like video games or computer games, iPod games, anything like that. So why should we play in the library? The library is a unique place that the entire school has access to. The library is built on ideas of inquiry and learning, and it should be a model for the school. If children truly learn best by play and investigation, and the library is built on the assumption that gathering information holds high value, that inquiry is a noble pursuit, well then what better place to model best practice learning and inquiry than setting up the library and library instruction and activities to accomplish those goals. So who? The library can also be a hub for all stakeholders in this school and in learning. So in addition to students accessing the library during school hours, after school clubs, lunch bunches, or free hours could also be offered. The library can be a strategic place of teacher learning and coaching and teacher play, providing space, resources, and materials and ideas to play and learn together. Maybe teachers could even take turns giving lightning talks on areas they are experts in. The library could also facilitate parent learning, hosting workshops on parenting or children's learning, or creating places for parents to engage with their children. It could model how to set up a home learning environment. The library could facilitate learning groups. The library can facilitate learning across groups too, pairing teachers with students, parents with teachers, students with administrators, or community members with the school. The library could also be a hub for specialists. I'm thinking of the social worker at my school who currently conducts her Lego club in a closet because of space issues. The program works on teaching students with autism social interaction and play skills. What if our school library already had a Lego club going because they're committed to play and learning? And it was a natural place then for the social worker to conduct her Lego club. It could even tap into typically developing peers. The implications for other specialists is limitless. The library is in a special place for facilitating learning between classrooms. One class could visit another's displays, homemade toys like boxes made into cars, or a giant gingerbread house or igloo, or musical instruments that one class made could be traded between rooms, or even some sort of checked out process. Classrooms of different grades could collaborate on a project using different mixed age groupings. So what might play in the library look like? Thinking back to the different types of play and what makes play, here are some ideas gathered from different articles and ideas that I've seen before. It seems like Lego Club is a hot topic to have in your library right now. So here's an example of actually the Lego play space at our local children's museum. I saw different rules for Lego Club that facilitated social interaction, or also different cognitive and problem-solving skills. Play could involve projects or play directly related to books. So things maybe like storyboards or building structures from an architecture book, or like bridges from marshmallows and toothpicks according to the different types of bridges. You could have story props, extending books. This is a picture of my class. We read all the different gingerbread stories, and here they are extending their play and talking about the different stories. Play could also be games, so games that foster social interaction or problem-solving skills. We could set up activities where students are required to work together to complete the task, so collaborative games or materials that are too large for one child to handle. The Faber article that I mentioned at the end set up an actual library pretend play center where children were the librarians and were able to check out books. They had a story time area. They had some dress up clothes that students could use, and they were actually able to check out books from each other. And I thought that was an amazing idea, a place for kids to play library. My students love to play teacher, so why not let them play library as well? Maybe a center for writing books. Here's a book that stemmed off our gingerbread unit, and the student made his own variation of the gingerbread man. But it wouldn't have to be. I mean, play is spontaneous. It could be whatever the student is thinking about. And there could even be a publishing aspect to that. Even though play is more about the process, there could be a way that students publish books and share them with each other or share them across classrooms. Or even make them into plays. The library could facilitate video games. The Elkins article gave a lot of great resources and ideas of how it could facilitate video games. It suggested choosing one system, and then it gave a great list of different games that would be beneficial in the library. I mean, we as librarians and teachers can facilitate technology as play, not just as memorizing rote skills or an empty time suck, but we can use computers for creative and academic play and research, and we can set that up in our libraries. As we're thinking about play, I just want to bring us back to what is play, and to keep these in mind as we're planning things. Pleasurable, intrinsically motivated, process-oriented, freely chosen, actively engaged, and non-literal. Thanks a lot.